Welcome to the I Fired My Boss franchise podcast. My name's Dan Claps, founder and CEO of Franchise Playbook, a franchisor platform where we create, own, and operate dynamic franchise brands in the mobile services space. And my life's goal is to help people just like you fire their boss and become a business owner.
And I'm Christian Dadulak, top franchise consultant and co-founder of Real Franchising, a leading franchise consulting firm. And together, we're on a mission to help people fire their boss, hire themselves, and live the American dream through franchise ownership. What's going on, guys? Welcome to, I was going to say another episode of the Franchise Founders Podcast, but welcome to, I guess this would be the first official episode of the I Fired My Boss podcast, I Fired My Boss Franchise Podcast. And the purpose of today, guys, is to speak with my co-host, Dan Claps. What's up, Dan?
Hey, how you doing?
And doing awesome, man. And just go over and let you guys know, the audience who have been so loyal and so awesome, let you know what we're doing and why I hate the word pivoting because everyone used that during the pandemic and it got so overplayed, but really that's what we're doing. Not pivoting, but rebranding. And because the goal for us, I think, and Dan, I'll obviously let you chime in, but our goal really is I know Dan's goal and my goal is to help as many people throughout the country experience the American dream as possible. And that American dream is really business ownership. And so we want to make sure that people that are thinking about and exploring franchise ownership are properly equipped with the right kinds of information from the right kinds of people to succeed as a franchisee. And I think we figure that there's really no better person to learn from than a franchisee. And so that's kind of the route we're looking to go. Dan, anything you want to add there before we jump more into why we're making the rebrand?
No.
Cool. Well, then on that note, I would just say, yeah, the whole goal is to have franchisees on. I'm sure we'll occasionally have a franchisor on or people from the industry. We'll likely also have thought leaders from outside of franchising in the business world that we think could be useful resources and people to learn from for the franchisees. And so that's really the route that we're going. We want to have the podcast to be, you're hearing from franchisees about the good, the bad, and the ugly, not just how awesome franchising is, but some of the struggles and some of the challenges that can come up.
Yeah, I mean, what we looked at was we love having franchisors on, but the landscape of franchising is that most podcasts, that's what you do. You have a franchisor on, you hear their story, and that's a great place. And there's plenty of great resources to do that, as ours has been. What we decided was we wanted to have more of the good, bad, and the ugly of franchising. Stories of trials and tribulations and about success and people that escaped the corporate rat race and got into their own business, fired their boss. And firing your boss sometimes means more than that. It could mean, firing yourself from being a bad manager of yourself or not a great leader. Firing your boss, though, this idea of taking financial freedom into your own hands and getting rid of that boss. And that boss could be anything that's holding you back from being the CEO of your own life. And so these stories are going to be franchisees telling you about how they got out of corporate and into business ownership or how they expanded their portfolio. And, I don't think there's a more gratifying feeling than firing the boss in your life. And again, that boss could be literal, it could be figurative, but we want to help people more and more fire their boss.
I love that. And yeah, sometimes it could be maybe you're firing the old business that you had that maybe wasn't living up to the expectations you had set for it. Or maybe it was great, but you're looking for a new challenge and you're looking to fire the old thing and hire the new thing. And we want this to be a place for everyone that is considering and looking at franchise ownership to have unadulterated, completely real, transparent. Everyone uses this word too, authentic, but something that's real. We want them to hear what it's like, the good, the bad, and the ugly, like I've already said, so that they can help decide whether or not franchise ownership is the right fit for them. And if it is, what are some of the challenges and benefits that I can reap from going down this awesome path? So that's what we're doing here, guys. We're rebranding. We're becoming the I Fired My Boss podcast. And we're just really, really excited to make this transition. So you're going to see all the new cover art. You'll see all the new branding on social media and got some other cool things coming down the pike as well, I'm sure. But really excited, guys. Really, really excited. And we thank you so much for following us on this journey. Hope it's been helpful.
I know we're wrapping up, but it's funny. I just have one example of firing your boss that could be less than you think. Like I say, like for me, when I launched Franchise Playbook and with Voda, our brand that we own, I realized pretty quickly that to be able to get to the level I wanted to get to, I had to start a business with people a heck of a lot smarter than me in their respective fields and put us all together. And I was recently, someone fired their boss, if you will. I was fired from FranDev recently. And I'm saying that somewhat facetiously, but our franchise development director, Steve Miller, is an absolute animal. He's amazing at franchise development. He's been a business owner. He has had an exit. He was in med device. He understands how to make something complex simple. And after training together since September, investing a lot of time, capital, energy, resources of all sorts, we had a caringly candid conversation, which was, hey, I'm ready. I need you to get out of my way and let me do what I do best. And realizing that he's better at that and he's going to do an amazing job. And my job is to get out of the way and provide resources. And so I joke around, firing your boss could be in the business you're in, getting out of your business sometimes could be your boss. We've got people that already own a business and they're like a slave to their own business. We want to teach people how to not have a business run them, but how to business that they run. And so firing your boss, that also is why we changed the name. But yeah, excited. Let's get some people on that fired their boss, and our first episode launches soon.
Yeah. So, and by the way, quick plug, if you are a franchisee listening to this and you have a compelling story that you'd like to share, we'd love to have you on. If you know somebody that's a franchisee, we don't really care what the brand is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, but we'd love to have you on. So if you know a franchisee, if you are a franchisee, we'd love to have you on the podcast and really just help you guys continue to learn more about franchising and how awesome it is, but also some of the real challenges that you can face as well. And I guess we can wrap up by saying, look, if you guys, for any reason, you're interested in exploring franchise business ownership, or down the road you're interested in exploring franchise business ownership, you can always head to our website, ifiredmybosspodcast.com, and fill out the form there, and you'll be able to get our help exploring franchising and seeing if franchising is even the right fit for you at all. Awesome. Well, really excited for episode number 1, guys. Dan, I'm super pumped that we're doing this and making the rebrand, and we'll see you guys on the official first episode of the I Fired My Boss podcast on the next episode. Super excited for it, and thanks so much for joining us so far.
You're f***ing fired. If you want to say those words to your boss, make sure you head on over to ifiredmybosspodcast.com and fill out the form to schedule a no-cost consultation. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend who might also want to fire their boss.